Yes, Instagram, how are we all this evening? It's fateful Monday evening. Hope you've all had a great weekend. Instagram is telling people that we are live. Awesome. Insta, do your thing. And I will also do my thing as well. So tonight, what I'm going to be talking about is, if things aren't going to plan right now, is sticking to the basics. Now, I'm going to give a little bit of an overview of why I'm going to talk about this. And also kind of things that you can do to implement it as well. Okay, and why you should kind of stay away from certain things, why you should do certain things as well at the same time when it comes to whether it's losing weight, whether it's just get back into training, whatever it may be, towards your health and fitness goals right now. So sometimes it's the weekend and the new week comes along Mondays, can feel like a drag. Obviously the weather is a bit better at the moment as well, so that's always going to help in terms of that. But what people tend to find is it's sometimes, especially after lockdown is lifting potentially on the 19th of July as well. We've been given the go ahead. See what happens with that. Could be carnage, may not be. Could be fine, who knows. But anyway, yeah. So with that happened, over last year, it's been quite difficult for a lot of people. So one of the things that we tend to do as human beings is kind of try to do too much too soon. And then what tends to happen is we tend to fall off the supposed wagon before it's even kind of set off, essentially because we've kind of given ourselves too much to, because we want to see results by quick time. And we've all been there. I've been there just as much as anyone else. So let me put a bit of a backstory of kind of why I'm kind of talking about this, and also, basically why I'm talking about this as well. So at the moment, when just after kind of April time, I got down, I was kind of hovering around 85 to 87 kilos, give or take. When the first lockdown came around, so before it actually happened, I was at 84 kilos. And then lockdown happened, I got up to 90 kilos. 8 kilos? No, that was 82 kilos, sorry. And I put on 8 kilos. I've been trying to do that for years. All it was a lockdown, who would have thought? But anyway, so what I mean by that is at the April time this year, I was kind of hovering between 85 and 87. And then recently, obviously with the Euros happening, me having a lot of get-togethers, stag do's, watching England do relatively well, drinking a lot of beer. My God, has it piled back on? I've still been training at least like 2-3 times a week as a general rule. I think once I trained twice, to be fair, but as a general, I've been kind of relatively consistent. And I'm now 90 kilos. Weighed myself yesterday. I thought, oh my God, can't believe it. But I'm not surprised. They say because I haven't really been tracking. I'm not really bothered about necessarily tracking right now because I think that I just don't need that on my plate at the moment. Excuse the pun. But yeah, I don't really want to be doing that at this moment in time. So what I want to be doing is kind of focusing on things that are just going to help me. The absolute basics. Now, this is kind of what I want to talk about, is getting the basics down when things, or well, just kind of kickstart heading in the right direction, but also to kind of keep things as simple as possible. Because again, as I said at the start, when we try to make things super complicated, we tend to fall off the wagon before it even starts, or before it even starts moving forward. Now, what I mean by that is kind of doing like you put on weight, for example, and you all of a sudden want to do like a 10-day split program, even though there's only 7 days in a week. You can actually do that, by the way. It's just basically a 2-week cycle. But yes, anyway, 7 days split. I was at 10-day split in 7 days. How does that work? But yes, trying to do too much too soon, or kind of looking to do exercises that are quite hard. People underestimate bodyweight exercises. Bodyweight exercises are hard, especially if you look to lose weight and you're not trained for a while. Okay, so trying to kind of jump into exercises that are quite challenging. Yes, you'll get benefits from them, especially if you're able to. But the problem is, by kind of doing those, it can be quite detrimental because you may suffer from DONS quite a lot. Sometimes it's just about easing into exercise and starting things, keeping things super, super simple when it comes to a training program. But I'll come back to that in a second. But yeah, or trying to, even with like your macros and things like that, if you're trying to follow specific macros and you've not done it for a while, you're stressed with work, other things are going on, you just need to kind of get a bit of momentum. By doing that from the off, now this isn't for everyone because sometimes people can do it, but as a general rule, sometimes just getting your kickstart heading in the right direction, start doing things, actioning things, then you'll start to see results. That starts to build that momentum, and that's what we want to try and do essentially with that. So by making things more complicated, we are giving ourselves more chance to slip up because there's more obstacles that we need to overcome, or there's more things that we need to try and hit. And it's hard to stay on track because of life, because of stresses within life that's happening, work, kids, family, whatever it may be. But also if you kind of try to go into like from zero training to like quite a hard program straight away, you're going to suffer with DOMS. Probably 2 days down the line, you ain't going to be able to move. You're going to be walking like John Wayne, as my mum would say, get off your horse and drink your milk. And we don't want that, okay? So one of the things that kind of I'm doing right now, so I mentioned about putting extra 2-3 kilos on the last like kind of day, kind of month or so, guys. Drinking alcohol is I'm taking it back to the absolute basics. Absolute basics. So what actually is that? And it's nothing to do with my program. I haven't changed what I'm doing program wise. I'm sticking to what I've done. So 3 to 4 times a week. Forget that 3 in that baseline. I'll be a very, very happy man essentially with that one. Okay, so one of the things I'm focused on currently is first is making sure I'm getting 7 hours sleep. So because I've not been sleeping well anyway, probably like a lot of people because of the heat, I've actually been sleeping in a little bit longer in the mornings when I can, just so I can get that extra hour in there when I need to as well, because I tend to I'm struggling to get sleep at night, probably because my hay fever, possibly stresses. I'm not too sure, to be fair. I'm just not settling for some reason. But I'm finding it easy to get an extra hour in the morning. So I'm actually doing that. That works for me, might not work for you. So it might be going to bed a little bit early. So making sure you're getting 7 hours of sleep, 7 hours kip in the evening, essentially, because that's going to be a big factor in terms of your recovery, mental recovery, but also recovery from training, if you are doing that at the moment, guys. Okay, so that's one of the things that I'm trying to do, and one of the things you should do, sticking to the absolute basics. Nothing to do with exercise, that's nothing to do with nutrition, okay? But it has a knock-on effect for all of it. Second thing is, now with my partner Namisha, what we've decided to do for this month in particular is increase our steps. To be fair, I've transitioned from kind of coaching in person to completely online now. I still do the in-person stuff as well, like, but just nowhere near as much. Now I've found I'm sedentary. I get anxious going leaving the house. So one of the things I've got to do now is, and him as well, is go out for walks. So what we've looked to do is every day looking to hit a target. So I've give ourselves a little bit of leeway of 8,000 to 12,000 steps a day to increase our NEAT, so non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So that is basically where maximal intense exercise, just moving around in general. And now that's going to basically increase our calorie output, not by major amounts, but if you do that over 7 days, you're probably talking around 1,000 calories or 1,200 calories throughout the week. It's quite a lot in the grand scheme of things, with minimal effort. Now, ways that could be done is when going shopping, parking further away from the entrance, when you've heard it all before, guys, when you go into the office at work, if you do have several floors on the top floor, get the stairs. Although I'll probably go up a little bit in the elevator because it can be quite tiring, to be fair, but it's up to you. If you know, you usually drive round to the shop. Now, I didn't know that was an actual thing until I got a car. Oh my God, having a car, it's just too convenient sometimes. But yeah, if you know the shop is around the corner, then make sure you rather walk to the shop rather than getting in the car. It's just lazy. And we all do it from time to time, guys. I didn't today, to be fair, but I did go for a walk as well. So justified in my own mind. But that one. Doing that, so make sure you're kind of we're looking to increase steps, 8,000 to 12,000 steps a day. Can you do that somehow? Try to kind of interlink it or intertwine it into your daily activity of what you're currently doing. If you're walking the kids, if you know you take the kids to school, walk them to school. If it's too far, park further away, walk them to school for the rest of the way. Whatever it may be with that one, guys, okay? As I mentioned, my training is pretty constant as well. So again, 3 to 4 times a week, I'll be pretty happy. 3 times a week, been pretty solid, bar 1 week where I only got 2 in as well. But that's not really changed. Yeah, the system in which I'm doing changed a little bit, but that's just for variety purposes more so than anything else with that one. Next one is make sure I'm staying hydrated at the same time. And one thing for you guys to do is making sure you're getting your water in. So I'm trying to hit 3 litres at the moment, essentially. But usually I think it's 23 for every 23 kilograms, hitting a litre of water. So just to give you a bit of an idea, if you're exercising or you're moving more, you're sweating more, I would be trying to hit a litre over that. So say, for example, my actual intake should be 4 litres now, actually, I think. But I've been aiming for around trying to get 3.7 litres is what it was when I last measured it, essentially. So looking to hit around the 3 litre marker. The female, 2 litres should be fine. To be fair, if anyone hit around the 2 litres, should be all right anyway. Because probably you might be drinking more than you may do as a general rule. But that's going to help you feel fresher, going to kind of release brain fog, so you won't kind of have brain fog as much if you do so from that. But also performance as well, guys, okay? In terms of day-to-day life, but also with activity at the same time with that one. And the final one is just, again, making sure you're just trying to increase your protein intake as much as you can. And it's not necessarily hitting a set amount on it. It's just every meal that you have, every opportunity you have to ingest food, to sit down and eat, or whether it's on the go and whatnot, have a look at the pack, see what the protein content is. If you can get anything from, like, I don't know, 15 to 30 grams of protein content within your sit down, within every sitting of your meals, like, then that's fine. Bump it up with a protein shake at the end of the day if you really want to as well. But again, these things are going to help with your function, kind of help with how you're thinking, feeling, performing at work, performing when exercising. And these are going to be things that are going to help you as well. And it's going to help keep you satiated more, especially with the water, combined with your protein intake as much as you possibly can. So whether it's if you eat meat, things like your chicken breast, turkey mince, lean mince, whatever it may be alongside of that. If you're a vegetarian, you could have your tofu, you could have your seitan if you can cook that as well. So that is probably more for your vegans without gluten, wheat. You've got your lentils, your beans, your lentils, things like that. That's absolutely fine as well, guys. Corn mince, things like that are fine. Yogurt as well is absolutely fine to get in there, guys. Okay, so looking at different ways we can actually increase that protein intake to kind of help you from day-to-day life. And then you can start to focus on the intricate side of things, so specific exercise that you're doing, specific programs that you're doing at the same time. But without the basics, there's no point trying to focus on that, especially if you're looking to kind of shift weight right now. There's absolutely no point, because everything falls down without the absolute baseline, without the building blocks. Okay, it's like building a house essentially. You don't have foundations, you can put bricks down, but it will eventually fall down, guys. Okay, and hopefully with no one inside with that one. So if you are kind of struggling right now, looking to get back into things in terms of your health and fitness goals, whether it's to lose weight, whether it's just to kind of start feeling a little bit more confident, build up a bit more strength, then things I would actually try to focus on is the absolute basics. The basics are, first one will be KIP, 7 to 9 hours sleep every single night, or as close as you can to that, okay? Second one is increase your movement to increase your needs, so non-exercise activity thermogenesis. That can be done through steps. So again, I've mentioned about doing 8,000 to 12,000 steps a day right now. There'll be a range in that. Look at it from average over the week rather than necessarily daily, okay? Because if you kind of find a day you've only hit 5,000, but then on Sunday you've hit like 25,000, you've got to have made it up somewhere along the line, okay, with that one. But try to intertwine it with your daily lives with that one. Stay hydrated, guys, well. So again, 2 litres if you're a female, 3 litres if you're a male with that one. But again, I will kind of play around with it with that one essentially, guys, okay? If you're drinking more, it's better. Probably a good way to do it is every sit-down meal before you actually eat is have 500 millilitres of water. Jobs are good with that one. Hopefully you're not pissing like a racehorse and rinsing it like every 2 minutes. Happens to the best of us, to be fair. And the final one is making sure every sit-down meal you're having some form of protein, okay? Main reason is it's going to help you, it's going to help satiate you, so you're not going to feel less hungry. It's going to help your performance in terms of mental performance when working, in the house, with family and whatnot, but also when exercising as well. And it's going to help with body composition in terms of maintaining muscle mass. How we do that is look at your contents of the food you're eating with that one, guys. Don't overthink it in terms of specific numbers. As long as you've got some form with your meals, then that's absolutely fine, guys, okay? And then once you feel comfortable, once you've got those things in place, then you can start thinking about specific programming. Then you can start thinking about specific macro splits if that's what you're going for, if you're looking to kind of really drastically kind of lose weight. Because without these things in place, it will all fall down, guys. Okay, so if you're this Monday, try those things out this week, guys. Okay, keep things super simple. And remember, squad, it's coming home. Yay! That is all for me, squad. That is all for me. If you have just joined, please do give us a like, give us some love. If you've got any questions at all, then always fire away, guys. And yes, it's been an absolute pleasure, and I will see you all tomorrow evening, guys. Peace out, A-Town. Da! Woo!